Hello everyone, this is Farrell, and I am here on the Spumcraft server. It has been about a month since I did my last update video, and the footage you saw in that video was from about 5 months ago. And, well, let's just say I finally finished one project I was working on to the fullest extent that I can. I think everything is all set, and that would be the Nether Hub. As you can see, I have finally finished doing all of the construction work in here. The roof is finally in place. Yeah, I chose another painful to construct roof. All the temporary work that was holding things up and kind of keeping stuff out of here is out of the way now. I have more or less finished work on streamlining everything together as best as I can. There's a couple different architectural elements that kind of blend really nicely with each other, like these columns here that don't work really well on the end caps, unfortunately, and it took quite a while to figure that out. I do have a little bit of work to do on this part of the floor, but that's just a case of getting the resources to do it. I don't have that much left. This is really the last bit of what needs to be done over here. So let me take you on a little bit of a tour of this place, because there have been a lot of changes that have been done over here over the last few months. One of the big ones is actually the addition of the stable over here. This is kind of put in here so we could actually have a place to have nether horses. Pretty straightforward. Okay, I have a little more work to do. I'm not exactly sure why this got torn out, but I need to get that fixed. Okay, two things to fix. So this kind of went in as one of the first big changes. Then obviously I kind of tore out everything up here. The portal's actually been lowered by a block now, so it's actually sitting more or less flush with the ground. Everything up here is still half slabbed. I tore out, this is all netherrack in here. This has been torn out to make room for another directory, so that way people can get a quick idea. It's more or less a map, but not quite a map. So the witch farm and Mustopia are over on this side. The tree farm access is, well, it says it's over in that corner, but I don't think it actually technically works, or if anything, no one raised any complaints when I sealed this off. So this still is accessible. This used to be the old way to get to the end. This is also accessible. That's just a filler tunnel. This is our end path over here. This caused quite a bit of a headache, because not only does it not fit with the roof that we have in place, because I would have to continue that support over, but it didn't look right without that. It also jutted out. It came up right next to the portal here when it was originally built, and I had to work with a couple of people to kind of figure out how to make this really integrate better with the design. But this goes straight out to the end for fast travel, so not too bad. Conveniently located close to the main portal. This over here, Foxtails Mason and his highways, this actually required redoing the plans I'd had completely for the hub, because I'd originally planned for a much taller roof, but unfortunately with the way that the spacing works out over here, the Nether Hub roof would have been coming right up through here. In fact, that drops straight down into the hub there. So that required quite a bit of redoing, unfortunately. So there is that, and actually technically the tree farm. Actually, that is, I guess the sign is in the right place for that, if you consider that the highway's path to it. So there is that. This is an old path made from way back when the server was still pretty new. Not exactly sure who lives out here, but it's still here. I've not done too much to it other than just make it so it's a lot less likely for a gas to shoot into the hub that way. This one, not exactly sure whose portal this is, but this goes straight up through here, sort of same deal. Just kind of leaving it capped off or walled off on the side here to keep anything from blasting into the hub. Again, some more filler caps over here, and basically you come in and you grab a cap and you build out of it. The purpler path over here actually used to be coming out of this direction, and then what I did was split it off over into the hub proper, and especially because this one, as you can see on the map, curves around to the right, actually goes a little over to where the Pixel Art Museum is going to be. And as you can see, what Garden Buddy did is she came back and turned the villager trading path into its own path. So we've got that kind of major tunnel at this point. In fact, at this point, the purple path is now a major tunnel in a ways. The villager trading path over here is now a major tunnel. And over here, past the portal, this has all been redone, including the nether roof axis, which has been moved elsewhere, so it's not right here anymore. We still have Alan's plot there, but Garden Bunny's got her path to her location. I'm guessing this is a horse stable over here, technically. So this goes diagonally off into the distance, and the end path goes down and then out over in this general direction. Then this path, which you'll see on the lower hub when I go over there, goes over to the what was the first mob farm, I think, on the server, the first nether mob farm. Actually, so I've managed to incorporate an S into the build quite a bit. Down here, everything's been redone. The last time you guys saw this was all basically smooth stone and stone bricks and whatnot, and the floor pattern was completely different. This has all been completely redone. The pattern I had just wasn't working out very well for the size of the hub and everything, whereas this is now actually, it fits. Starting off over here, I've moved the Nether Hub guidelines over to this wall. The reason why this is all obsidian on this wall is because I'm trying to encourage people not to dig through it, because obviously right above it is the end path, and it goes right down through here. So unfortunately, we're never really going to have a tunnel going back in this direction on this level. Over here, I've got the lower level of the Nether Directory, so it kind of chains up to the top level, and all that chains up to the ceiling. So kind of bringing together some elements there, and trapdoors there because, well, you can. And it kind of gives you a nice little open air feel to it. Over here's the original portal up to the, or not the original portal, one of the portals up to the upper level, and someone's been coming through and doing some digging, and unfortunately dug underneath the floor and took out a lot of the netherrack underneath the lights, and that threw off the lighting pattern here. I mean, if you look, you can see there's, I don't know if this one will show up on YouTube or not, but this block is lighter than the one surrounding it. Same thing with this sandstone. I'm using the lighting glitches to do some lighting effects. Well, when you take all the netherrack away from stuff, it breaks that effect. So unfortunately, I had to go back down and actually fill stuff in. Over here is the new path to the mob farm. This runs all the way up through here. You're seeing it underneath everything, out in that general direction. I believe it goes down at this point and then over. That's why it's not on my map, because it's a lower elevation. That's another one that Garden Buddy did, I believe. Over here is the portal to Andy's Islands. His alignment's a little off because everything here was put in after the hub was put in place. This is my old tunnel rock base. This is going to be coming down and getting opened up so I can free up some space for whoever owns the portal down at this end. That way they can kind of go straight across and into that spot. And what I'm going to do is take the portal over here, which this is all very rough and is not going to stay. I tried a little tighter design and I don't like it. It came out kind of interesting, but as you can see, I'm going to curve it and bring it over to my portal over there. This is the outside of my nether tunnel here, which never really got 100% completed, so I don't mind tearing it down and redoing it. So there's that. What else can I show you here? Next slot's over. This is going over to Mazlantis' portal. This is just pretty much right around the bend here. So I had to seal all this in with netherrack just to keep the gas from firing into the hub again. This little thing has wound up becoming the de facto filler. You saw a lot of it up in the upper level there too. Don't ask me why. It's the only real holdover from the old tunnel design. This specific, or the old hub design, this part here was all from the old hub. And that has been retained just to give it a little bit of decoration, because I kind of liked how that turned out. Nether access, if you really want to get outside, is over here. If you're on the server, please, please, please replace gas damage. The gas love to spawn over here, and I've had to come back several times and backfill a lot of stuff out there with netherrack, and there are paths down there. For example, the automatic blaze farm and another strip mine path run under the netherrack to go out that direction. And then the open air mob farm. This is the first one I think the first one on the server. This runs under a netherrack tunnel and goes all the way out to this giant nether slab here. So, and then it actually goes downhill, which that was a pain to build without a half slabs, but it actually works. So that's that, and yeah, just replace your damage, please. I've even made that part of the rules. If you cause damage or if you see damage, replace it. Take a few minutes, like right here. This is now wide open to the outside. Pigmen are falling in here. Gas can shoot in there. We have access spots cut out, you know, in various places around here for a very specific reason, and that's one of them. So let's just go ahead and fix this real quick. I mean, here's a gas, the initial gas wall that I put around. Actually, the second one I put around the hub. We're inside the first layer here. This is the back end of the wall. This used to be. Guessing someone did. There's paths all over the place in here, and unfortunately it lets the pigmen in through all kinds of places, and I'm trying to keep the hub a pigmen safe place. But yeah, this is the actual top of, this is the upper level here, and this right here is the original path that was on the outside. So you can cut through this if you want to. I don't know if anyone's actually doing anything. And then back behind here used to be where the stable was originally, but with the end path coming up through here, I kind of opted to not do anything, and I left that open. So this has all been kind of left as is. And if anyone wants to come along and take on any other aspect of that, you are more than welcome to. So more on that, actually. So yeah, that's the new and improved hub. I think it has come out extremely well. I'm really happy with it. I like how I've managed to work in redstone torches for little bits of accent lighting. There are end rods in the scene. You cannot see any of them. They have been tucked up well up into the core of here, and it's providing a little bit of downlighting on it, which I kind of like. The glowstone, a little harder to conceal, and that was just because of the design of the ceiling, but still not too bad. It kind of fits in pretty nicely. And I mean, same thing with the netherwork blocks. Everything here just works well together, I think. And considering that I was originally going to make this more of a peaked roof instead of this kind of flatter roof, even this kind of came out pretty well. The end caps are kind of so-so, not 100% on them. And the upper level here kind of came into question, the design I was doing with it, because when I started working on taking out the roof, I was like, well, what am I going to do up here? Because there's a roof on this stuff, but I don't want to carry these columns all the way up to the ceiling, because that's what I wanted to do with just these two columns here that are bracketing the stairs, but I don't want to have to do that for every single one of them. It just would have looked pretty awkward, especially because they're not really lined up to where all of the pillars are over here. And I think it worked out really well. Oh, and that's right. If you want to get up to the roof level on the inside of the hub, that is this spot up here. And all of this has been half-slabbed up here, so this should be spawn-proof. Down there is where the stable used to be. You can get down there still if you want. And you can actually go around the sides here. I've made sure that everything here is still accessible up to this point at least, and then just blast through some of the nether up there, the netherrack, and you'll be able to get through that. So I do want to address something of the elephant in the room, and that is, it's been 5 months since my last video on the server. And, well, unfortunately, this is probably going to be the last Spumcraft video that I'm going to be releasing on my channel. And this is kind of a hard decision to reach. I'm not quitting the server. I am still going to be playing on it. but I'm already playing pretty sporadically, and on top of everything, I've got the Xisuminati, both the vanilla and a modded series I'm trying to work on, that I'm doing videos on. I've been playing a lot of modded lately, and I also have the Mini World series, and of course I also have Zombiecraft. There's a lot of building that I need to get into gear over there. So between all of that, there's not much time that I'm actually able to put into playing on Spumcraft. And like I said, I'm not leaving the server, and there are some things that are going to be coming down the pike for the server somewhat soon. Not entirely sure when some of these plans are going to be coming into effect, but there are going to be some changes coming, and hopefully you might see the occasional featured video once in a while, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to be promoting anymore as a series on my channel. It's going to be kind of maybe a one-off video, or maybe I'll make it part of the Many World series where I just kind of do a one-off feature on Spumcraft over there, because obviously I've got the Spumcraft Season 1 map there and the Spumcraft Season 2 map, so it might kind of live on a little more in that general area. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching the videos, and obviously Spumcraft was the first, it was basically the genesis of all the videos that I've done on YouTube so far. And I want to really thank everyone out there, both on the server and in my audience, who have been, supporting me through this and been enjoying the run on the server so far. I really am glad to have started off. I picked a really good spot to really get acclimated and get my feet wet with multiplayer servers. I think the time to consider this a series has definitely run its course, and 2.5 seasons isn't that bad.